को या क्या सीन है पता नहीं.
Yeah.
Yeah, baby.
See.
And I will need to tell the audience that this is not planned.
Seriously.
ये plan नहीं किया है.
And he can't be like.
ये देखो.
You can't plan it with him like that. Yeah. Good boy.
Yes, I know. I love you too. करें? Start करें? Hello. Buddy. Chalo, good. All right. Thank you so much, guys, for accepting this because I know it's a lot of ordeal and Fluffy is super excited than any one of us. That's amazing. So we'll start with what I've heard from you guys is there's a very nice inspiration that you got to get a dog, right? A dog.
Yeah.
So you didn't know whom you are going to get.
Yeah.
What was that inspiration? Can you guys tell me?
You can start.
We watched this movie Marley and Me,
Yeah.
and it was a really nice movie with a very naughty dog,
I know.
and yet we loved the movie. And then that's when we decided that no, we had been thinking that we get a dog, but then that movie like closed the deal for us.
Close it. Perfect.
And then we got him from a guy who was coincidentally named Bob Marley.
Bob Marley. Okay.
And that's it, yeah. And then he was the naughtiest that he
In the lot.
yeah, in the lot. 4 or 5 pups were there, and he's the one he put all the pups down, and one of them started coming towards us very slowly but surely. This guy, the moment he touched the ground, he ran backwards. He went to see the surrounding areas. Then he saw that, oh, that dude is going forward. I must overtake. And then he came running, overtaking. So then we got impressed. That, he managed to go see. He also managed to come to us. And then, multi-talented. So that's
nice.
how we knew that.
That's great. Yeah, I love you too. So Marley is a very peculiar dog, right? In the movie.
Yes.
Do you see any similarities between Marley and him?
So I think the way he started, when of course and that's something that we realized later. As first time pet parents, when he was a puppy, he used to be like running around the house. He was very curious. But he did not make as much nuisance around the house.
Yeah.
But he was he was not very destructive by nature. But
Just high energy.
he used to find out stuff like our finger to nibble on, or some new toy, and curious about stuff. So he used to catch hold of those things, but nowhere near Marley, thankfully.
But he was naughty.
Yeah, he was
He
naughty.
used to have pebbles on the balcony sill. And that time it was all work from home, so I was on continuous calls. Then I could hear clattering of pebbles into the balcony.
Just to get attention.
Yeah, just
Oh
to get
yeah,
attention.
100%.
Yeah.
So then I went and I said no. He listened. Okay, and then after some time he just
झूठ मूठ
repeated.
कर
So ये सब बदमाशी he would
He used to
continuously do all of these things,
Yeah.
but never destroyed anything around the house. We were lucky
And
that
even if by mistake sometimes, because when he was a pup, he used to go around and maybe knock something over by his tail or something like that.
yeah.
He used to be very concerned about the object. I don't know how, like if they feel like life in object. Yeah, he will go and smell it, ensure everything is fine, and then go
Like
about
when we
doing
are
his own
playing
job.
around in the house and if a ball goes and shatters against
Something.
some furniture or something, he'll leave everything and he'll check if the furniture is fine.
Hey, that's nice.
Yeah. He's very sensitive.
That's unique. I've never heard any dog doing that.
Yeah.
That's awesome. By the way, intrigued by the name Fluffy for him. I had asked this question, I think, long time ago to you guys, but I don't remember. Why did you name him Fluffy?
It's Harry Potter inspired.
Yes.
So Fluffy, the
So,
three-headed
The
dog.
sequel.
Seeker
the
in
seeker.
training. As our good friend Akshay and Sneha
Yeah.
gifted.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's right. So Sneha thought of this end to end and she brought it. I have no contribution in this because I didn't even remember the Fluffy part of it.
That's how gifting
He
works.
was fluffy as a pup baby.
Yeah.
like
Yeah.
white and full of fur.
Yeah.
Now he's all muscular, but
Get up.
he used to be very fluffy.
So he used to be fluffy.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then the name Fluffy is there. We had a dog in
Yeah.
Harry Potter, so then
Great. क्या चाहिए बच्चा? Up.
Get up. Get up.
Good boy. Yeah, good boy. Good. So, how was he during the puppy phase? What was the puppy phase like? In general.
Okay. So, okay. So we used to stay somewhere else. So there was, and of course, in the first 3-4 months, you can't take him outside because of vaccination and stuff. So we used to do a lot of running around in the house with respect to his, because he was not potty trained. So a lot of cleaning going around in the house. That used to be there. We were in work from home, so Ankita used to work from the hall, and I used to work inside the room. Whenever I used to come outside, he used to get completely excited because he used to see me after like an hour or 2 hours or something like that. He's kind of used to listening to Ankita's meetings. Even now, he finds the deep sleep in that state. If a call is going on in laptop, he'll be able to sleep peacefully in that. And don't know if he's taking mental notes or MOM also, I don't know, but he has been like that. So that's how his childhood has been, listening to a lot of calls, laptop calls, and he understands, okay, this is, so when the and when the laptop opens, he knows that, okay, now they are off to work, let me go to sleep. The moment you say thank you, okay, thank you, he'll get up and he'll start pushing his envelope for a walk. Yes, he'll be able to recognize that, okay, the call has ended. Unless the next call starts.
He also recognizes if it's a thank you in between calls or it's like the final
thank you
for the day. So he knows that, and he will come and start asking for attention and to play and bring his toys.
Maybe go for a walk or something like that.
Walk only once we are done with the day.
And this was since the time he was a puppy.
Yes.
Always has been like that. He used to sleep on my lap also.
Okay. But was it, in general, was it a hard puppy phase? Was it difficult for you guys? Anything that...
So at the beginning, right at the beginning, because he had developed mites, a condition on the face right at the beginning, skin issues. Thankfully, we found a good doctor, so immediately he took care of the things, and then we had to visit there again and again. But he's also like, he has been very strong since the beginning itself.
Okay.
Immunity wise and physically, he has been like, he's a fighter, right? So when he developed that condition, like, we kind of got emotional around it, that we don't know how to, take care of a pup. Maybe we are not ready. That's a kind of, imposter syndrome that happens to every parent, I'm sure. So we also developed that, but thankfully he was helpful to us. That he said that, okay, don't worry, I'll take care of myself.
1.5 months, we had to give him medicated bath, and then he was not supposed to leak himself after the bath. It's difficult with a puppy, right?
He's high energy.
We had to wrap a towel around him and then walk around with him. It is almost like we have brought up a baby.
And a baby which never grows up is the one.
Exactly.
That's great. So any kind of naughty behavior and mischiefs, which he obviously does, but do you find endearing, the most endearing, that you cannot get mad, you just keep laughing or keep loving him?
Many. So I think
maybe
one of them. Sit. Good boy. Sit. So one of them definitely is, so whenever we leave him and go outside somewhere, say for an hour or so, whenever we come back from the washed clothes, he'll pick up a nice towel or a blanket or a bed sheet. He'll bring it. He'll pick his own. And he'll bring it, drag it across. He'll bring it here in the drawing room, and he'll wait for us. And the moment we walk in from that door, he'll look at us. Then he'll run towards that towel.
Okay.
And he will say that, okay, this is mine. This is something which I have acquired. Look what I have done. He likes his blanket, by the way, blankets. So he has many of them, and he will pick and choose whatever he gets, and he will bring it. Now it's very hot, but definitely around.
Full, the moment Fluffy starts sticking with blankets.
And between you two,
he loves him more.
You got the question.
No debate.
Okay, so what made you think that? I mean, how do you know that?
Anyone knows that. They just have to see them both. Okay. the moment Fluffy looks at him, he's all like
Glass-eyed.
pupils
Puppy
dilated
eyes and-
glass-eyed, and randomly he look at Fluffy and he starts wagging his tail. I'm like घर की मुर्गी दाल बड़ा हुआ है. I'm like, हाँ, yeah, she's
No, so
always there.
Ankita is his play partner,
Ah.
and with me, I don't know, like he
Also,
maybe he
I
feels a connection or
discipline him
something.
more.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was going to say
So,
that.
yeah, she's the bad cop, I'm the good cop.
Yeah.
Good cop.
Happily.
Ah.
So
Happily.
because of that, then a lot of the initial walking was done by me. Maybe that is also a point of
The
like
connect,
bonding,
yes,
connect.
yes, yes. Because
Right, so-
walks do connect
Yes.
the dog with the walker.
Yes, yes.
And that's why it's always
Oh.
beneficial that we ourselves walk our own dog,
Right.
so that they connect with us.
Yes.
But dogs also pick a person, so they have a person.
Yeah. So
It doesn't mean that he loves you less, but has a very
That
different
person.
exactly.
has a very different connect with the between you two.
Yeah.
It's a very different connect.
Yeah.
And I've also seen that in the walk.
Hmm.
So while walking, he listens to her more.
Exactly.
And he takes you for a ride.
Yes. For me, he will not listen to me because, like, I thought that I was taking him for walks, but it was the other way around.
It was the other
He
way
has
around.
been taking me
Yeah.
for rides, but yeah, that is how it is. He has to
With
lead.
me, he walks right
By the side.
beside me.
Yeah.
No pulling, no mischief.
Oh yeah, exactly. I've seen that.
Yeah.
With him, he's 3 steps ahead.
Always ahead.
Protect my guy.
If it's a mine which is coming along the way, I have to be the
Yeah,
first
yeah.
one to step.
Yeah.
That's his philosophy. So he'll always protect. He'll always be ahead. But yeah,
So nice.
It's a different type of love.
It's
Yeah.
a different one, yes. When you got, by the way, did you have pets before?
No,
Murphy?
we did
It
not.
was the first pet
First
for
pet.
both of you.
Yes.
Oh, that's
Since
nice.
We did
childhood.
a lot of research for every
Yeah.
single thing. We had to study a lot, figure
Yeah.
out a lot of things.
Yeah.
Even now, there are a lot of
Yeah.
things that we keep learning.
Anything that comes as a total surprise for you as a pet, because you must have seen other pets, other pet owners having pets around.
Mhm.
You may be around dogs of other owners, all of that. So what came as a surprise? कि अरे ये क्या है, ये भी हो सकता है, या फिर this is very unique.
I think
Never thought of it.
In general, if I say, I never thought that one can get so attached.
Hmm.
Like, I understand people loving the pet, or I have actually seen others also, like, not that attached maybe, but
Hmm.
but for us, like, he's like our child,
Hmm.
and the first and foremost priority, our decisions all revolve around him.
it. Yeah.
So we make sure that he is part of our life for everything that we do, and that bonding is too extreme.
Yeah. And it's too precious.
It's
Yeah.
too
So
precious.
that actually brings me to the next question. How has he changed your lives? I mean, I understand. So you have to think about him if you're going for a holiday, if you cannot take him. Usually you take him, I know that.
Yeah.
But if you cannot take him for some reason, then you have to think about him, keeping him in the daycare and all of that. Not the usual stuff, but in general, how has he changed your life?
no. So I think what you spoke about are the some restrictions that come along with
Correct.
having a
That's a
pet.
restriction. Yeah.
But more than that, what we realized was, and especially like we have been married almost 7 years, right?
Mhm.
So the first 4 years when he was not there,
7 years नहीं 6 साल में
it is almost 7 now. We are, I think 7.
we complete 6
Okay,
years.
6
So,
years.
Safi is covering you guys until you decide.
It is
Okay.
fine. We have been married 1 year.
That's okay. It's on record, Ankita.
Okay. So we have been married 6 years almost.
Okay.
And in the first 3 years when like we had not gone for so many trips, we had not gone for like we had not planned so many trips, right?
Okay.
Before he had come along.
Acha, before you did
Yes.
plan any.
So in a way, he's the one who opened the door for us, like, because we started planning. Of course, the planning has to be around that we have to find pet friendly places.
Correct.
Look at places where maybe we can carry him or not carry him
Correct.
at some places, right?
Yeah.
All those things.
Yeah.
But we started going around more because we wanted to take him to different places
Hmm.
so that later on he does not encounter any problem in traveling. So when he was what 4 months old, we took him for a like more than 6-7 hours ride. It took us 8 hours because we took stops and all, and we took him to
Okay.
Chikmagalur
Okay.
in our and okay. So we also got our cars just because of him, because
A bigger car, I think, right?
No,
the first
I
car.
think you got the. Oh, okay.
We got the first car just because of him.
Because it was difficult to carry
Carry him on bike.
On a bike.
Oh,
And he
yeah.
was growing very fast. Every week his size was changing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So Ankita found it difficult
And
after a point
And
to
because
carry
it's
him.
so curious, right?
Yeah.
So I'll hold him. he has to look this side, he will look that side, he will go on Ujjwal's shoulder,
Yeah.
and he will look there. Then he needs to turn around also.
Yeah.
He has to look back at the back what is happening.
Mm.
So constantly he'll keep wriggling and moving.
Like
Yeah.
this.
Yes,
Yeah.
like this.
So
Okay, so it became, and I used to stress out a lot. You know, what if he slips? What if I'm not able to hold him?
yeah.
Mm.
So that's when we decided to get a car. Otherwise, for
So-
both of us, we were like fine with
So
a bike.
about our
Oh, wow.
lives changing, I think not just about traveling, about where we stayed. First, we used to stay outside brigade and in a independent apartment because
Acha.
that is what was good enough for us. But
Yeah.
when we came here, we saw the pet play area.
He liked it.
He liked
lot
it.
Of walking space.
Yeah.
A lot of walking
Yeah.
space.
So we
So
moved here because of him.
just
So
because
like
of it.
big and good decisions came
Yes,
Yeah.
after
exactly,
him.
exactly.
It's not that he
And
restricted
for him,
anything,
for
honestly.
him, exactly.
And for him.
Exactly.
So, both of us strongly feel that whatever progress we are making in life and prosperity has come in because of him.
Yeah. Yeah.
Like,
So
we really strongly believe that,
Yeah.
that he's brought in the happiness, brought in a lot of
That has changed. I think
So
that's
we used
the
to
main
hear
part.
that from parents, not only pet parents, human parents, that
Yeah.
when the kids come along, they bring their own destiny,
Correct.
right?
Correct.
And they bring their own prosperity, and the things grow for you.
Mm.
It's because you also start planning around it. So
Yeah.
that happened with him
Yeah.
when
Yeah.
he came into our lives. We started planning around it.
Mhm.
We took it maybe to the next level so that he's comfortable.
Correct.
We started doing all that, and came along the way came trips to Goa, trips to Pondicherry, multiple trips. We have been to Coorg, Ooty.
So लोगों के साथ
Sakhi
उल्टा होता है.
Yes.
Where the trips reduced,
Yes.
it increased after
us,
he came.
yes,
And
exactly.
you guys enjoy a lot. I know I've seen the
Yes.
we
videos.
go for treks.
Treks. Yeah, he loves treks.
He's
Yeah.
very good off leash. He has
Correct.
very good recall.
Correct.
And his
Yeah.
behavior is also like awesome off leash. He doesn't meddle with other dogs or animals around. He's curious, but he maintains his own safety and distance. With
Lovely.
people, as long as people are not approaching him right on the face, he's fine with people.
Off
He
leash.
just lets him
Off
be.
leash,
Yeah.
he's quite
Yeah.
good. So
Super.
he developed all of that, and therefore our trips are a lot fun because of him.
Yes, I fully agree. I've seen those videos,
Yeah.
and we are planning a trip for a long time.
Yeah.
Let's see now when it happens.
Yeah.
I'm not sure. You had shared one thing some time ago, but any incident that moves you guys to tears, still any incident of him that you just like, it was too much to handle also at that time.
Mhm. Yeah.
Koi puppy wala ya recent anything.
Yeah, so he was less than a year old, and we had gone to her parents' place for around a month. So that was in Noida. So we had taken him by train. So that was a fun ride.
Oh, okay.
But when we reached there, so unlike where we stay currently, so unlike that, there was no leash-free zone in the society there, and because of that, almost for a month he was constantly on leash.
Yeah.
And when we took him outside for like on one occasion to just we went outside for a restaurant,
Pet friendly cafe.
that's right. So there all the pets were roaming around. We also left him because before that, like, he had been fine with other pets and all that, but
Yeah.
since a lot had built up in him for around a
Because he
month or
used to
so,
being open.
yeah.
Right.
So
At least
Off
every
leash.
day here we take him
Yeah.
out.
Correct.
So a lot of energy, he's
Very
very
high
high
energy,
energy.
right?
So a lot of energy was still pent up inside him. And there he picked up a fight with a very old dog who was also like under some pain because of some I think disease that was going around, and he was an old dog.
I think
So
that dog
he-
had a tumor also.
Yeah.
Oh.
So he was already in pain and he wanted to maintain distance.
Correct.
That's where he would have tried to draw the boundary.
Yeah.
And him being him, like he
That was a trigger actually.
yeah trigger. So he he went on him. Thankfully no one got hurt.
Okay.
But he went on him, and because of that, there was a lot of quarrel between the owner and Ankita was almost crying because she was feeling bad for the dog also.
Yeah, of course.
So that was one incident where it happened, and then of course another couple of such incidents are there. Once it happened with like one of the dogs here with Muthu, and typically that's where our learning also comes from. That he's not good in maybe 3-dog scenario, especially where a female dog is involved.
Okay.
So he gets competitive with the other male.
At
And
that time
maybe.
he was not
until that time, he was all fine with Muthu, but
That can be.
thankfully Kshitij, his pet owner, he handled the situation very well. He also got hurt a little bit, but
Right.
he handled the situation very well.
One of my big learnings with him has been that you can't see, you see all these videos on Instagram and Facebook and right, and they show you the rosy pictures also.
Oh yeah.
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 They show, and then it took us some time. It took me some time to really learn and accept that not every dog is same.
Yes.
Okay, and dogs have a personality of their own. Every dog has a different personality, different behavioral aspects, and that's your dog, that's your baby, and you have to accept it and
Correct.
understand your
Yeah.
way around
Way
it,
around it,
rather
yeah.
than only imposing your own expectations that have been
That's
built
true.
by some social media posts.
Yeah,
It's
that's
not
true.
right.
Yeah. Because he'll be good in the sense he will suit your lifestyle in many other ways.
Yeah.
Maybe not in one way, and then you make
Correct.
that adjustment, just like any relationship,
Correct.
right? So
Yeah.
One of the best advice or even a conversation I've had with one pet owner who has been like, it's his fourth or fifth dog in his life and all of that. So he said that dogs have likes and dislikes.
Yeah.
They like some dogs, they do not like some
yes,
dogs.
exactly.
So we cannot force them to like the dogs that they don't like,
Yeah,
because it's like forcing us to like someone whom we
yeah,
sometimes don't just connect. It's
Yeah, yeah.
it's not hate,
exactly.
it's just we don't connect,
exactly.
we don't vibe.
Exactly.
And that happens with them, and it becomes a pressure for them,
Yeah.
which it is not required every time, unless you are
like
building.
some other dog,
Yeah.
fine.
Yeah.
Doesn't mean your dog also has to like the other
Correct.
dog.
Yeah, it's not mandate. So
Yeah.
you can try, but
Exactly.
you have to let it go at some point.
Exactly.
Perfect. So I think you already have answered some of the next question.
Okay.
But one of the questions that I usually ask and would like to know for others also is, even if he's your first dog and he's not too old, so you are still new pet parents in a way, but still if someone comes to you and says that, hey, we really want to get a dog, what do you suggest we should do? So what are the tips, what are the warnings, how will you guide them? In short, what will you tell them?
See, I think the first step is to maybe become part of certain groups, certain pet
Yeah.
groups, right?
Okay.
Because a lot of
Learn a lot.
you learn a lot, and also you
Good idea.
you get a lot of notifications as to there are a lot of dogs for up for
Adoption.
adoption,
And
right?
yes.
So you should be part of some groups. Maybe take a few dogs who are friendly around and take them for walk. Understand their schedule, and get into it with somewhat more knowledge, because having a dog is not just about, as she was mentioning
It's
earlier,
not a bit
just
of
not
roses,
just
yeah.
about the rosy picture, right?
No.
It's also about a lot of routine, lot of responsibility, of course a lot of fun, no doubt, but along with it comes a lot of
You can't
responsibility.
neglect that, or
Exactly.
you shouldn't neglect that.
Exactly.
Because the dog, for us, we have so many things going on in our
Correct.
life. For him, it's just us.
Us, yeah.
I mean, his day starts and ends with us, and it is time with us that he just
Very
looks
true.
forward
Yeah,
to
very
for
true.
the entire day.
Yeah.
So-
We are everything for him.
You should have that kind of time to spend. You should, you should be ready for certain compromises as well. You might not be able to
Correct.
meet all your friends maybe in the first few months, right? Just like when you have a baby, right? You have your own routine around things.
Correct.
So you should be aware of these things and then get into it with a more informed decision. Go for adoption, right?
Yeah.
Because a lot of dogs will be available around who want a good home, loving home. So
Yeah.
go for it in that way.
A lot of people I know now, as part of certain parent groups, they go for fostering first.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, that's a good idea.
So they foster different types of pets. They understand the behavioral patterns,
Correct.
and then they call it foster failures. Okay, and
Foster
like,
failures,
you
okay.
start fostering some puppy or some dog, and then you're just not able to let go of it, and they
Yeah.
end up adopting the dog.
Okay.
So,
Yeah, that happens.
in groups, we love foster failure stories.
But that's nice. Those things people generally don't think about. They just jump into the situation.
Exactly.
It's not a gift, right?
It's not a gift.
Yeah.
It's not a Christmas gift.
See,
and
That you can return and
Yeah.
take
Oh,
the
man.
coupons back or something like that.
Yeah,
It's,
and
it's,
you
It's a
grow tired
life
of
that
it
you
or
are.
something
It's life
like
that you are
Exactly.
dealing with.
exactly.
And I think on Insta or something, I've seen a post where the person said the dog is in a very uncomfortable place when they are with you, when they come to your home,
Yeah.
it's home for us, it's natural for us, it's completely unnatural for
Yes,
them.
exactly.
So they are adjusting every single day.
Exactly.
They are learning every single day, and they are also failing every single day.
Right.
So you can't penalize them just because they are doing something wrong according to a human.
Yeah.
Exactly.
According to you, you need to think according to them. You need to understand their behavior, their patterns.
A lot of empathy is required.
Lot of empathy is required, for sure. And now another point is which actually I usually ask. So one thing that you want him in him to change or about him to change, that it's something that bothers you, like okay, at least this thing. And
Okay.
second, something that you absolutely do not want him to change, come what may.
So first thing, I think like being comfortable around strangers, being a COVID baby in the first
Oh, yeah, the-
formative months of his time, right?
We
So
couldn't
socialize.
socialize with a lot of people. So he has his own inner circle, and those are our friends who have visited him while he was a puppy.
Yeah.
Okay.
3 to 4 months is generally the age where the puppies
Window is
get
open, right? So,
exposed
yeah,
to
Right.
all
Up to 6
ages.
is
Yeah.
the best. To
Yeah,
yes.
so that whole time was COVID time. Only our relatives and a few of our close friends.
Close
Okay.
friends, yeah, who came and stayed with us.
So he's like head over heels in love with
Yeah.
all of them. But for everyone else, it's a learning curve. It takes them 3 to 4
Visits
visits of long duration.
and some bravery on their part, right? So what
And-
we don't want him to
Change at all. Something that you love the most.
Everything else about him.
Exactly.
There is,
Yeah.
there is nothing in particular. Like,
Okay,
we love him the way he is.
that's okay. So
Yeah.
there's only handful of 1 or 2 things
Yes.
that you want to change, but everything else is
Yeah,
just
yeah.
perfect.
He's my BP monitor.
Yeah.
That's something that I don't think
Oh.
people have told me.
No,
So when
I don't know this.
when I get anxious
Okay.
or stressed
Mhm.
or worked about, maybe I just had a bad day at work and I'm telling him about it, he immediately picks up that something is bothering me
Oh.
from my tone and body language.
Yeah, yeah, they
And
understand.
he'll immediately come and start licking me, pawing me, then you calm down.
Bring it on.
Yeah, and I have to tell him that okay, I'm fine, and I have to actually calm down
Yeah.
till the time he's
Wow.
with me. Otherwise, he's not with me.
Yeah.
And he does it consistently, like,
Hmm.
time and again. Even when I start telling something and I haven't worked up myself entirely.
Okay.
Let's say he's sleeping belly up, but he will still catch it and he will start looking at me. I'm observing.
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm observing
Wow.
you, and I will also see you, and then I'll have to tone it down and bring myself to calmness again.
He's your accountability partner.
Yes.
Yeah. So you were getting like so jealous that he's his
Exactly.
buddy, but
Exactly.
what about this? I mean,
Yeah.
this is something
This
is
next
very
level. This is next
And
level.
it's with her, like
Awesome.
that has been since the beginning.
Yeah.
I think
That's
the first
really
day
sweet.
itself, he.
And they understand that. That's why these are like helper dogs as well.
Yeah. Yeah.
After this journey with him till now, if you now get a time machine and you get to go back in time, start afresh with him, what will you do differently? Just one thing that you want to do.
Maybe introduce him to more strangers, like more
Socialize
people,
him as much
socialize
as
him
possible.
as much as possible. That's
Dogs,
one thing. Apart
humans.
from that, I think
Yeah.
he has been perfect for us. We
Yeah.
have not been as perfect, but he has been perfect for us. So nothing else.
I mean, they adjust a lot
Yes.
for us. We also have to adjust, but I think for them it's next level. You didn't have Fluffy in your life.
Okay.
What would you miss, but you never knew that you needed that thing?
Definitely,
Before.
I think our fitness levels.
Oh, okay.
So
How did that happen? I mean, why did
okay.
Fluffy?
I think she
My
can start.
story
Yeah.
more
Yeah.
than anything
Yeah.
else. So I gained a lot of weight during COVID,
Oh.
especially work from home and continuously being on calls. I became absolutely sedentary. We used to order in food a lot as well at that time because we just couldn't. It just hit
Yeah,
us. We couldn't
yeah.
figure out how to work around our timings,
Agreed.
etc. So I think I put on around 20-30 kilos over a period of those two and a half, 3 years, right? And then I tried to get back into walking and doing some exercises. But I would always follow the wagon. And I was perennially discouraged, and I used to tell him that now that I am becoming old, I am not able to get fit anymore. And then he said that you are not consistent, so you just have to get consistent. So we discussed, and then we figured that the best way is to start taking him for walks.
Hmm.
So So that's how I started. That I said every walk I will take him. That would comprise of 2 kilometers of the peripheral road
Right.
here. At least that's something I have to do. There's no escape.
There's no escape.
So I started with that, and he's quite high energy. So then as I built my stamina, I started going for 2 rounds, 3 rounds every walk with him. And he would happily come along and walk along with me. So that's how the journey began. Then when we started exploring more vacations with him after COVID, right? Trekking is one thing that we had realized that he's very good with.
Okay.
Which also means we have to be
to
good
do
with
it.
trekking as well. Therefore, that added on that, we need to build our own fitness level so that we can go on treks with him. Because the first time we went on a trek with him, it was like we are walking. By the time we moved maybe like few steps, he's gone up, come down, gone up and come down again. He's done 4 rounds of the entire thing already. So that's not very practical, right? He get tired.
Right.
So those are some of the ways that he just kick-started the fitness journey for me. For him anyway, it was there. Obviously, his I think for him he gets to do his bowling practice.
My throws and my fielding has
Loves
improved a
fetch.
lot. So
Loves
he
fetch.
loves fetch. So that's kind of our routine every day. I think the thing, of course, the fitness part, which would have been missing, and which we won't even have realized that much because
Agreed.
Get used to it, right?
we have lifts, we have enough apps in place, right? So you don't need to really move around a lot. But when you have a dog, you have to take him on walk every day, and that's where you realize how fit you are. When you go out on vacations, you realize that okay, you have to keep up with the dog, right?
It was an amazing time. Thank you guys for letting me do this.
Thank you.
And
Thank you so much.
I think he was. Let's thank Sneha for the questions. He was the biggest star because we never planned him to do all of this.
Yeah.
और वो मतलब पूरा छा गया था.
Yeah.